Real Estate Insider, where America goes for funding. Your direct nationwide lender. Every week we do our Talk with Angelo live, where we come out with new exciting programs, updates in the market, interest rates, credit, everything that we talk about. Remember, we're a direct nationwide lender. You can give us a call or text my office, 832-431-6331. Also, the links are down below to get signed up to enroll for any of our programs. There's no cost for enrollment. There's no contract. There's no hard credit check. We are open 7 days a week. So we lend nationwide and also international. We do everything from commercial lending, hard money bridge, residential, private, conforming, conventional, jumbo, non-QM, DSCR. So we're your go-to for finance. Don't be a stranger. Reach out to us if we can help you. 832-431-6331. Today we're talking about our investor construction loans. We love doing builder spec developer construction loan programs, whether it's one deal or it's a whole subdivision. We have a ton of different loan programs to help all of our investors and our builders out there with our private ground up construction loans. And so that's one of my favorite loan programs. And I think in the future, it's going to be taking, the markets by storm, because banks, when you try to get a loan for a construction loan, especially if you're a builder or developer or investor, it's very hard to get construction financing from a bank. They're usually very strict. They make you put a huge down payment, and they don't work well. They go very slow. So private lending is much more preferred because you don't need tax returns to close. You don't need W-2s. You don't need pay stubs. You can close fast. There's not there's not a bunch of red tape or BS to get the loan, and it's investor and builder friendly. So we're going to be talking about that today. And you've seen a lot of builders and investors do build to rent, where you can get the funding to build the properties instead of selling them. You can just turn around and lease them out. And because a lot of what's happening right now, especially in America, is obviously land and is becoming more and more scarce, and they're not making any more of it, right? So the thinking is that instead of selling the property, if you're building a whole subdivision that you lease out, you just lease it out and you keep it as a rental portfolio. So it's a really hot program, and like I said, it's called Build to Rent, and we offer this. Now you don't have to rent; you can use the construction loan just to sell the properties and get out of them. But the bottom line, we want to let all of you investors out there, all of you builders out there, and developers know that there's private construction financing with good terms, without a lot of BS. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, because it's one of my favorite loan programs. It's simple to do. It's not hard, and it's something that's scalable. So if you want more information about our builder and investor construction loans, definitely give us a call. Text my office, 832-431-6331. There's no maximum loan amount. There is a minimum loan amount of, ideally, we want to do this for at least, 500,000 or higher, just to have it make sense. Okay. Can we do smaller? Yes, but we want to stay between 500 to, let's just say, 100 million for investor construction lending, whether it's, one home, or it can be a whole subdivision, right? It could be 80 homes, and we can give you funding in tranches for the construction, and we can also do the horizontal, like doing all the earthwork, the roads, all of the utilities, in addition to the vertical, the ground up construction. If you're trying to do a model home, and you're trying to build, maybe a lot of builders do 4 homes at a time. Whatever your situation is, I want to talk about some of the requirements so that way you guys are aware. Ideally, you have to have a 700 or higher credit score. You have to have built at least 3 homes prior, right? And ideally, in the last, let's just say last 3 years, you built at least 3 homes. We could probably make it work with 2 homes, but this is not designed for a first-time builder. This is if you are a first-time builder, then you have to partner up with somebody that has experience and do a JV deal, work with them. So then that way you'd be eligible for the loan. Okay. So 700 plus higher credit score, the experience, At least 6 months of reserves in your bank account. What are reserves? That's 6 months of loan payments. So if the payment's 2,000 a month, you have to have at least 12,000 in your account or greater. Obviously, no open lawsuits, judgments, liens, bankruptcies, foreclosures on your credit. You don't need any, like I said, no income calculation, so no tax returns, no W-2s, no pay stubs. But then the other thing is, if you own the land is your equity, it's your down payment. If you own other land or property, that can be your collateral. We lend up to 85% loan to cost and 75% of the ARV. So what does that mean? That means that if your project costs $1 million, we're going to give you 850,000. You got to put 150,000. How you put that 150,000 can be from your own money, from other collateral, or a combination. All right. So, but you have to meet that 85% loan to cost. If you already own the land or you already have money invested in your project, maybe you already started building, you're mid construction, all that equity contribution counts. Okay. So this loan does take about 3 weeks to close. We will need an appraisal that you have to pay out of pocket for. That's your only out of pocket expense. There is no application fee, no deposits to get this loan. We started with a soft credit check to get the ball going. The only thing you got to pay for out of pocket is the appraisal. Another really cool thing is interest only. There's no prepayment penalty. The closing costs can get rolled into the loan. The other thing that also the interest payments can also get rolled into the loan. So you can do up to, a year, 6 months, 2 years of no payments if you have enough equity in the property. So you don't have to make payments while you're under construction. So it's a really badass, awesome program to help you builders out there to scale up your business. And you can do it in any state. You might live in Florida and you want to build in Texas. That's cool, as long as you got the crew to do it. Okay. And it can be condos, it can be townhomes, it can be single family homes. You know, so there's a lot of different options that you can do. So after watching this video, there really is no reason why, if you're an investor or you're a builder, why you can't scale this. It's totally scalable. And you can make a lot of money doing it. You can fund a lot of deals. Now, like I said, there's no prepayment penalty. So whether you decide to sell or refinance to the Burr method, DSCR, you can do that too. You don't have to turn these into rental properties. You can sell them, if you want to. It's non-Dutch interest, so you only pay interest as you go. So it's a great product. You don't have to escrow your taxes and insurance. You can close an LLC. It can be a new LLC. It doesn't have to be an established LLC. So it's straightforward requirements. It's nothing crazy or hard to get. So, and if we can help you with this, obviously don't be a stranger. Reach out to us. We have so many different funding platforms and opportunities to get this done. So, and if you guys have any questions about our builder loan, ground up construction, please don't hesitate to reach out. Like I said, we can do it nationwide. I mean, basically, if you already own the land would be your equity down payment. I'll give you an example of a project that we did in Heights for one of our investor clients. He had 6 homes in the Heights, and each one, the ARV was between 1.5 to 2 million. So just to say about a $10 million portfolio of construction. That was the value. He needed a loan for $6 million to finish some of the horizontal work. He had to put the roads in, and then also he wanted to do construction. So he was looking for a loan for $6 million. He already owned the land. Okay, so the land was owned free and clear. He didn't have a mortgage on the land. So basically, the land is your down payment in this example for the construction. And he got 2 years of no payments. He didn't have to bring any money to closing because he had plenty of equity in the project. He was only at 60% of the ARV, and he had probably about $2 million of his own cash into it. So he met the loan to cost requirement and the loan to value requirement. And he had a 709 credit score. He had 38 months reserves, and probably done 9 houses in the last 5 years. So that's an example of a solid builder that can get approved all day. And his bank that he was banking with called his loan due, was no longer doing construction loans. So, that's what can happen when you deal with some of the banks. I know that, of course, there are good banks out there. I'm not saying there's not. But what we see that the small to mid-tier builder sometimes have a very hard time getting funding from their bank for construction loans. Now, obviously, if you're a multi-billion-dollar builder like D.R. Horton, you don't have this problem. But if you're smaller than that, doing less than 100 homes a year, you can run into these type of issues. That's why private lending's here. In regards to the rates are around 10 to 11% right now. The closing costs are 2 to 3%. They get put into the loan. As I said, it's interest only. There is no prepayment penalty. It's a no documentation loan, relying heavily on your experience and the property. Now, the other thing about this, it has to be in an urban metro area. It's not eligible for rural areas. So if you're building out in a population of 800 people, the loan's not going to work. It has to be for metropolitan areas like Dallas, you know, um, Houston, Miami, Tampa, um, Nashville, stuff like that. And it could be on the outskirts of a major city. It just cannot be in an extremely remote rural area. Any unique properties like tiny homes or modular or mobile could be possible. We have to look at the floor plans, the renderings. That some of the documentation that you're going to need for this, yeah, you need to have your builder resume or website, your construction budget, your personal financial statement, your credit report, and then your bank statements for the last 2 months, and then your track record showing the projects that you've done, or your website showing that. And that's, we have to get the appraisal. We need a rendering or a floor plan of the home or the homes that you're doing. And that's it. It's pretty simple. If you're closing an LLC, we need your LLC documents. So it's not anything that's too hard. So if you want, to get help with the builder, investor, construction loans, reach out to us. That's why we're here. It's one of my favorite loan programs to do. And we've done a lot of videos on this, build to rent, investor, ground up construction loans. So, reach out to us and we can help you to get you the funding for that. It's an awesome program. And like I said, it only takes about 3 weeks or so, plus or minus, maybe 4 weeks to close, depending on how buttoned up your documentation is and how long it takes to get the appraisal done. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up down below, whatever you need. And then the links are down below to get signed up for the enrollment, or you can call or text our office, 832-431-6331. Whatever works better for you. We're open 7 days a week. We'll get back in touch with you as soon as possible. And so that's pretty much it for the investor ground up construction loans. And then, like I said, don't forget, if you want to get signed up for our loan partner program and join our team for enrollment to get paid for your referrals, send us an email about that. If you want to learn more about our loan partner program, we also have our real estate university, which is badass. If you want to become a top producer, a top closer, and join our real estate university, the links are down below to sign up for real estate university too. And then also to join our Amazon rewards program to get a free Amazon gift card if you're one of our customers, vendors, partners. Go to Angelo Christian Mortgage on Google. Leave us a 5-star happy review for doing business with you, and then we'll hook you up with that free Amazon gift card. So a lot of ways to network, synergize, make money with us, and do business. So I appreciate all of you guys tuning in, always watching the channel, all of your support. If we can help with anything else, don't be a stranger. Reach out to my office, call or text us anytime. And this is our latest update for our episode with Real Estate Insider. We do this weekly. We do try to do 1 to 2 lives a week, and then we have all of our ever published content too. So whatever we can do to help you to add value, don't be a stranger. Please give us a big thumbs up, enable notifications, subscribe, like that bell, share the information. We need all the help and support that we can get with the channel. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching us tonight. Thank you so much. You all have a good night. We'll see y'all later in the week. Bye-bye.